Good evening, everyone, and happy Mother's Day to all. Thank you for joining us here on the RSR Network. Last week in the Red Line Racing League, we saw Roger Buff edge out his competition at Daytona. Can he make it 2 in a row tonight? Find out next. We'll be right back with the starting grid after the short break. Welcome back to the RSR Network and the Red Line Racing League K&N cars at Talladega. We got a large field tonight, so let's get right to the starting grid. Starting first with the 51810 Marty Ray, and in second we got Jeffrey Shawless. Starting third, winner of last week's race at Daytona, Roger Buff, and in fourth we got Dakota Sadelic. Starting in row 3, fifth is Adam Eisenhower, and right next to him, in sixth, Jason Eisenhower. Row 4, 7th place, Brent Kudel, and in 8th, we got Paul Sheldon. Starting 9th, we got James Peterson, and in 10th, rounding out your top 10, is Jamie Martin.
Starting 11th, finished 3rd last week at Daytona. Matthew Carrera starting in 12th position. Kenneth Boehm in 13th. Stephen Price, 14th. Chris Wilhelm. Paul Cohen in the 15th. 16th, Bruno Tassone. Adam Roseman, 17th. Dylan Feltman, 18th. And starting 19th, Philip Lauer. Anthony Pizzo in 20th. 21st, going to Waylon McConnell. 22, Gabriel Zarnecki. And 23rd, Mark Haney. 24th, Max Kaler. And 25th, Canadian's own Brent Nichols. 26th, Stephen Baird. 27th, Ivan Garcia. And 28th, Carden Cochran. Now, Kevin, those are the only cars we had qualified tonight. We do have more drivers in the field. I'm not quite sure which drivers will be attempting the race. We had 40 drivers join the room, but that doesn't mean all 40 drivers will start the race.
Yeah, I think we're going to see exciting racing. Seeing the racing that we saw last week, there's going to be lots of strategy involved due to pit stops if the race continues to stay green here. So, going to be able to utilize the side drafting on these cars.
One of the drivers not in the event tonight is Jason Kinzer. He finished 4th last week at Daytona, and he was very good at doing the pushing in the draft. So, Kevin, we won't have Kinzer tonight, but we have a lot of drivers that are back for another round of action with the Redline Racing League here at Talladega.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Roger Buff running up in the front all day. He was my pick to win the race last week, and he proved himself with my pick. So I'm going to go again with Roger Buff. Hopefully he can make it 2 in a row here tonight.
Now, Roger Buff starting in the 3rd position, so he's got great starting strategy, but this driver who's got a lot of potential, he finished runner-up after making a little contact. He is in the field today driving number 3, PJ O'Leary. That's my driver to pick, starting 31st. But, it's Talladega. Anything can happen.
Yeah, you're right about that. There's a lot of cars in this field. I do expect the big one here today. Lots of drivers going to be unaware of driver's tendencies, so that's going to be a factor to watch here.
Yeah, no, a little bit different track than Daytona. Obviously, Daytona, the finish line is in the center of the tri-oval. The finish line here at Talladega is on the straightaway after the tri-oval, so it's going to be a little different strategy trying to lead.
The green flag's in the air. Marty Ray takes the green flag and leads this field. Going into turn 1 here at Talladega.
Yeah, we got Ray on the inside. He's trying to get a little help from Buff. Buff not quite close enough to the bumper. Sloss in 2nd. A little bit. Dakota has kind of fallen back from the outside line. The 36 of Jason Eisenhower going to try to give him a little bump to the lead, but right now it's Marty Ray out in front.
Yeah, there's a lot of activity in the back there. Drivers on the outside can't quite make their way down to the bottom there. If you saw the last shot of there, the camera looked like they were 3 wide a little bit over there.
Yeah, right now it's kind of a small pack, and then a little bit gap. We have the number 99.
See the lead there. Looks like there had been a little bit of checkup there. Made sure Brent Kuhl did not get into the car in front of him, and we are under caution.
We got a caution out on the speedway. Drivers that were collected, the number 10 and number 46, 5, and 40. We're going to take a quick look at the instant replay.
It looks like Max Keller was involved in that. Going to take a look on the replay here. You see they're 3 wide coming into the tri-oval here. That 01 Brent Nichols right behind him. It looked like a little bit of net code into the 46 of Gabriel Zarnicki. But not the big one there. Only a minor contact with some of these cars, but most of the damage looks like it's to that 10 car of Max Keller.
Great job by the former Win Racing driver Brent Nichols to barely get through that. Got on the binders, went to the inside, and narrowly avoided him.
See, these drivers are waiting for the pace car to catch up, and here it comes barreling through, driving through the cars, and no damage to those cars.
I love that. Unlike on the NR 2003 days when the pace car was eligible to get hit. So Roger Buff trying to work his way. He had the lead at the line, but when the caution came out, Marty Ray maintained the lead.
I'm trying to see if I have access to Roger Buff. We can get a driver interview as he's in the car, but can't get that quite at the moment. See, there was an incident back there a little bit. Not sure what was going on there. We're not going to show on the replay. We don't want to call anyone out here, but it seemed like there was a little incident under caution. Not sure if parties have been removed or it's been resolved. But if we get any information, we will bring it to you.
Yeah, so the top three runs, Marty Ray first, Roger Buff second, and Adam Eisenhower. So far, your biggest mover of the day looks to be Adam Roseman, going from 17th to 12th. Getting a couple positions there for drivers that have put down the qualifying time.
You see, these cars really haven't got up to speed quite yet. You see the fastest lap time that Adam Rosman has completed was 1:44. So it's still early on in this race. There's lots of green flag racing. 50 laps that we will have here. Currently on lap 3, the caution is out.
Yeah, first caution of the day here for the Red Line Racing League. Last week at Daytona, we had about 3 quick cautions. Then we had a great green flag run. We're hoping to see some more green flag racing here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Currently, we have 38 cars that have turned a lap here. So, you know, it's going to be an exciting race. Might take a little bit of time to get the kinks worked out, but let's see if anyone's going to go down pit road. We got a nice fake job by the number 15 of Roger Buff, winner of last week's race at Daytona.
Yeah, it looks like on the timing here, only 2 drivers that were in the server did not make it to the race. So we do have 38 cars, pretty large field for Talladega and iRacing.
Yeah, definitely. You know, 40 is what the field for a Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series race. But today we got 38 cars for Red Line Racing League. It should be a good event here with the K&N cars at Talladega. You know, we had Talladega's last weekend where Joey Logano took home the win. And the way those cars race are a lot different than the K&N cars. So expect to see some different racing than we saw last weekend.
Yeah, with the bumper and the front and rear bumper of these cars, they're not flat like the Cup cars. So you can push, but you run the risk of turning the car in front of you. So there's going to be lots of checking up. I don't think you're going to have to worry about temperatures with these cars. And but one critical thing is going to be pit stops. If it does stay green with the shortened fuel, they are going to have to pit. So it's going to be interesting to see who runs what strategy if we get to that point.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you get to work with the 50% fuel cap that they do run here in Red Line Racing League. So, you know, half the fuel run, but at the end of the day, everybody's on the same page. I mean, you got to work together with the people that you are in the pack with, because at the end of the day, if you make the wrong pit stop, you're going to be left out for the dust, because that's how important the draft is here at any super speedway.
Yeah, you really got to make sure that you come down pit road under green flag conditions. Make sure you don't lock up the tires and get in there. Make sure you don't speed, because if you get a 15-second speeding penalty, it's really going to kill you, and you're going to be digging from behind, digging a big hole there. See, we should be getting the signal for one to go, waiting for that pace car to cross the start-finish line. And indeed, we do get that signal.
Yeah, one to go here. Last on the start of the race, the outside line did not get a lot of help, but hopefully we get a little bit. They get a little better help, so we get some more side-by-side action. So Ray's going to be on the inside. He is going to need some help from Adam Eisenhower. Roger Buff's going to be on the outside, and he's looking for his help from Jeffrey. So we got, good restart hopefully coming up here at Talladega. They're going to go down the long back straightaway here, and they're just going to wait and just keep that heart pounding for this race. Getting ready for a good restart here at Talladega Super Speedway.
Yeah, if Roger wants to get up to the front here, he's going to need Jeffrey Slosh to really to give him a good push here on that restart. Hopefully you can get Roger up there.
Yeah, Marty Ray was not in the field last week at Daytona, but Buff was. I know at this track, you need to make friends. You need to make friends early, because if you make some enemies, they're not going to help you out later in the race, Kevin. So making friends here is just a huge deal.
I don't know. I kind of beg to differ. You know, once if you want a strategy, you can always have a strategy, but it doesn't mean you're going to execute it. You're going to have to go with the flow of plate racing. If there's a line's not moving, you move up to get up to the front. So sometimes you have to throw the strategy out the window and just take matters into your own hands.
Hi, Kevin. That pace car is getting ready to make a hard left-hand turn to pit road. We'll let you call the restart.
The Ford iRacing first pace car is making that hard left on the pit road.
Through the grass.
See Marty Ray patiently. He's in the restart zone. He's not going quite yet. He's on the gas right now, and green flag's in the air. We are back to racing here at Talladega.
Oh, we got a great restart on the outside lane. Buff has got a bumper full of Jeffrey Sloss with number 4, Brent Kuehl, trying to get him help. And right now, the 86 of Eisenhower getting on the bumper of the number 65, Marty Ray. Ray, Buff, side by side out of turn number 2. Both have help.
Meanwhile, cars behind them, 3 wide. See that green car in the middle there getting a little squirrely, but make it unscathed, and they are 2 wide.
Rosman made a little contact with Cohen. But right now, it's side by side out of 4. A lot of help on the inside and also a lot of help on the outside. The number 4, Brent Kuehl, just kind of lurking back there, trying to find out where he wants to go. At the line, it's going to be...
That's going to be Buff.
Roger Buff, last week's winner at Daytona International Speedway. He looks to go down low. Oh, we got contact in the back of the pack. Big wreck here at Talladega.
Looks like that is going to be not the big one, but some cars involved. We're going to take a look on the instant replay here.
Yeah, the 67 was involved.
It looks like the 67 got up into the 12. I'm pretty sure there was some netcode. Violent wrecking has ensued. And Jay Cohen, he took a lot out of that one.
Yeah, they were 3 wide. And, you know, this track is very comfortable to go 3 wide, but made a little bit of contact. Other cars involved. The number 34 of Chris Wilhelm, he had some contact with that incident. Other drivers involved to be the number 32, just drove right underneath the flipping car. Great job. Other than that, it was really those 3 individuals that were involved in that accident, Kev.
See, we're looking at the replay. We saw the netcode earlier, but that wreck is pretty darn violent there. See that 12 car, Steven Pierce. He gets a lot of damage. He goes around and around and around. We're gonna take a look again here, and there's the netcode. Into the wall, gets hit. Don't know if that car has sustained any damage with the netcode of iRacing, but both those cars, hopefully they're all right. They'll get to the infield care center, and that 12 car is on his hood on its side, and then resting all 4s as he tows it back to the pit stall.
Buff gonna make his way down pit road. He's gonna surrender the lead. Other drivers to follow him to be. Looks like we got the 101 coming into the pits. Mark Caney coming in the pits.
See Roger Buff. See what kind of pit time he gets there. Looks like he elects to take 2 tires and fuel, 8.2 seconds on that. So he will be the first one onto the racetrack, but there are a lot of cars in front of him. Hopefully he can keep it clean under green.
Yeah, hopefully get some more green flag racing. You know, cautions happen here at Talladega, but once you get that green flag run, racing can be great.
See, Adam Eisenhower had a great pit stop with a 6.1 second, taking 2 tires and fuel, I believe. Drivers behind them, 7.7, 5.2. Looks like we do get a couple drivers to take all 4. And some damage being fixed on these race cars.
We have 2 drivers out of the race. That's James Peterson and Dylan Feltman. They have retired from the race. 2 cars lap down, Jay Cohn and Stephen Pierce. But I expect them to go maybe another lap down because they're in the tow. Oh, there goes Jay Cohn. He's officially retired from the race.
Let's go take a look on your pick. Currently sitting 29th. Looks like he's just going to play it safe here to keep his car clean for the rest of this race. PJ O'Leary, currently in 29th. He was your pick of the race, Avery. Are you still confident you can see that number 3 Goodwin Chevrolet back up there in the front?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he did the same thing last week. How come he can't do it again, Bubba?
Well, that car is very intimidating, and a guy who has run that car in real life was loved by these fans in Talladega. It would be great to see that 3 car in victory lane here at Talladega.
I'm still pacing here at Talladega. We got, looks to be 2 to go.
See, let's go through your field here real quick. Some drivers elected to pit, some did not. And at first we got Jeffrey Schloss, followed by Marty Ray, Brent Kuhl, Paul Selden in 4th, Jason Eisenhower in 5th, Matthew Correa in 6th, and in 7th we got Jamie Martin, 8th we got Anthony Pizzo, 9th we got Chris Wilhelm, and rounding out your top 10 we got Ivan Garcia. And right behind him in 11th we got Cardin Cotrin, and in 12th we got Kenneth Boehm, in 13th the Canadian Brent Nichols, and in 14th Max Collar, 15th Matthew Almani, 16th Frederick Hofstrasetter, 17th Stefan Besner, and in 18th your man Roger Buff, first one off the pit road. Adam Eisenhower right behind him in 19th, 20, running out the top 20, Dakota Sedilic. 21st, we got Philip Lauer. 22nd, Paul Cohen. 23rd, Adam Rosman. 24th, Mark Canny. And in 25th, Brian Kaufman. And 27th, Thomas LeBar. 27th, Gabriel Zarnicki. Actually, these guys are coming down pit road, so the positions are not going to be the same as I said. So we're going to go back up to the front here. The lights on the pace car are off, which is the signal to 1 to go.
Yeah, 1 to go here at the Talladega Super Speedway for our second restart of the day. Hopefully get some green flag racing here with the Red Line Racing League. We are the RSR Network. We're having some fun. Kevin Trzynski and I. And just want to clear things up. We call Brent Nichols a Canadian. He's a good friend of ours, and he kind of gets a kick out of that. So, yeah, nothing. We love Canada, but Brent Nichols, a good friend of ours. Been racing with him for a long time. It's good to see him back out on the track, Kevin.
Yeah, we're going to, I guess, we're going to have to watch out for the 39 of Edward Finger. The 18. Can't quite find that. Mark Johnson. And that 3 car of PJ O'Leary.
Well, looks like Stephen Besner has been removed from the server. He was running in the 17th position, driver of the number 8 car. He has been retired. with the black flag. Pace car getting ready to make that hard left-hand turn, that Ford FR 500. The crowd is on their virtual feet right now. We'd like to thank all our viewers here tonight. Kevin?
Pace car driving in the grass. Not quite at the restart zone. Jeffrey Schloss. Green flags in the air. We are off to racing. Coming to lap 12. See the drivers getting a great start all around. But Schloss gets a great start.
He got a great start, but right now he's got no help. Here comes the number 65 of Marty Ray. He led early in this race. He's got a lot of help from, he's helping on the outside. Marty Ray with the help. Eisenhower on the inside getting help from the number 27 of Anthony Pizzo. Looks like Ray's going to move to the bottom, but no, 3 wide action here at Talladega Superspeedway. Coming out of turn number 4. Right now, your leader is Jeffrey Schloss. He had the start. He had the lead on the restart. He's going to lead his first lap at the Talladega Superspeedway.
Yeah, he takes that Dodge Charger up to the front, leads the lap with that 4-car Brent Cool, giving him a great push here. See the racing there, 2 by 2, a few rows behind. Looks like everyone maintains their car in good position. Looks like these drivers want to get to the end of this race. But as I say that, we do have a slow car out to the wall there.
It looks to be Ivan Garcia. He's falling back to the back of the pack. I don't know if he's got damage or if he's trying to just... Yeah, he's got damage.
Yeah, unfortunate for him. He's going to pull it to the back, lose the draft. Hopefully there will be a caution for him for his doubt. We'll go back up to the front. See, no one's testing him, but as I say that, Jeffrey Schloss wants that position back, but we have a wreck. Matthew Almani involved in the 40 of Brian Kaufman, and also the 12 of Stephen Pierce and others involved. We're going to take a look at a replay here to see exactly what happened. We're going to take it back a little bit there. See, we'll go up on the blimp view here. See a little check up there. 24 car, and the 40 car comes up into the 38. 24 collects him, and cars go around the 55 there, getting some damage. Cars tumbling. Some cars get on the brake a little bit there, and some don't. And see the casualties involved. Look like there was a handful of cars involved there.
Yeah, definitely a misfortune for some of those drivers.
Yeah, that 3-car PJ Larry involved as well. Jeffrey Schloss takes it to the pits. Looks like he might retire, or if he's just... No, it looks like he did retire. Not sure if he was involved there. He was running in the front.
Yeah, it looks like the 67 got a little bit of contact and ended up going out of the race, and, you know, he was a couple laps down. But, you know, that's racing. I mean, you're going to be out here on Super Speedway. You know, wrecks are going to happen. But that's our third caution of the day. We're hoping to get some more green flag racing here at Talladega.
See some drivers coming down pit road. The man leading the way, Paul Selden. And his Rust Easy Brewing. I believe that's brewing. I can't tell.
Stephen Pierce, you're the lucky dog. Gonna go back. It'll be 2 laps down. It looks to be.
Yeah, luckily he did get the damage on his car fixed via a quick repair. See, he was involved in 2 wrecks so far. See Marty Race maintaining that lead. He's been up in the front all day. And sit back. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
The NASCAR Beginner Series, powered by iRacing, is the premier NASCAR esports series featuring the cars and tracks from the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. The 2016 campaign saw a return to the top of the mountain by Ray Alfalla as a 3-time NASCAR World Champion. The march to that championship was not easy, though, despite the fact that Ray Alfalla took home the most points in series history. It just also happened to be the tightest championship fight we had ever seen. These guys are set for the 2017 campaign, and as it has been for the 7 years prior, it is no longer going to be a straight shot to the championship. We are going to see the biggest change in this championship picture in series history, as for the first time ever, there will be a chase for the championship. We're going to go into the Homestead Miami Speedway at the end of the season with the 4 best oval sim racing drivers in the world absolutely tied in the championship. You just got to beat the other 3 guys out and you will become an official NASCAR champion. You're going to get yourself a NASCAR championship ring and, of course, $10,000. These are the iRacing Esport World Championships, the pinnacle of sim racing competition. You can catch it all season long, live coverage on iRacing.com/live.
Welcome back to the RSR Network and the Red Line Racing League. K&N cars at Talladega. The lights on the pace car are off going into turn 3. We are 1 to go. Our biggest mover of the race thus far is the man Brent Nichols and that 0-1 machine. So he's gained 20 positions. See if he can make something happen here. See, that pace car is going to get ready to go down pit road, making that hard left, and there she goes. Marty Ray steps on the gas early, gets up to a big jump. This might be bad news for him, as the cars behind him are going to be having a head full of steam with these cars, but Brent Kuhl, he might be able to help him out there.
Yeah, Carrera was sleeping on the inside roll. That slowed up Brent Nichols, but out in front looks to be Marty Ray. Might get help for Brent Kuhl, but Eisenhower in third. Caution's out.
And not sure exactly what happened. We'll take a look at the replay. Looks like it was some cars involved at the back of the pack. Oh, you see the 81 didn't quite hit the 39. And that 12 car, Stephen Pierce, is once again involved in a wreck.
Yeah, he just got into his left rear, and that caused major damage. That brings out our next caution of the day. So we're going to pace around a little bit more and hopefully get some green flag racing.
So I'm going to back it up a little bit from here. Can't quite tell what car number that is. It looks like 81. A Bruno Tassone. We're going to back it up 81. About 10 seconds. We're going to go on board with him. You're going to see some netcode here. A little bump, and no, there was no netcode. That was what I was talking about at the start of the race. If you're not lined up with the bumper the right way, that car is going to go around the car in front of him, and that's what happened there. No netcode involved in that one. And folks, when I'm talking about netcode, it's basically the connection from the player's computer to the connection to the server. And there's an algorithm that calculates where the car is on the track, and sometimes those don't sync up with the drivers themselves, and basically it's calculating where they think the car is going to be. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but in that case there, it looks like the car just went around, and you can't push the way you want to. You got to be real careful. You can't push on the right or left side of that bumper. You can a little bit, but if you're going to ram them, those cars are going to go around definitely 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, you got to make sure that bumper is solidly connected, straight on. Otherwise, like you said, carnage will happen. But the driver out in front is Roger Buff now. He won last week at Daytona, trying to go back to back. So Buff out in front and Pizzo in second.
Yeah, Roger, my Buff, the pick of the race. Hopefully I'm right. Should have taken my bet to Vegas. Could have made some money last week.
Well, there's PJ O'Leary up into the top 10. He started 31st, up 21 positions into the top 10. Patience is helping him out so far, but, lap 21 of this 50-lap main event.
Man, I tell you, seeing that 3 car out there, it is sure damn sexy. It's one of my favorite cars of all time.
Definitely a very cool looking car. But I grew up being a Rich Petty fan and a Rich Petty Motorsports fan, so it's hard to beat the STP 43. But it does look awesome.
Yeah, PJ's gonna make his way down pit road, topping off. I don't think they're gonna be able to make it from here, but who knows? He might be able to. Some cautions, but it's going to be interesting to see how things do play out here. If we can get some green flag racing, I got my fingers crossed. We're going to have a good race here tonight.
I got both my fingers crossed, my toes crossed. A lot of things crossed. I want to see some good racing here at Talladega. We got a lot of potential here. We're hoping we can see it tonight.
See, the lights on the pace car are still on. Oh, there are some birds there that just came into view. What a beautiful shot there.
Those are some nice birds there, Kevin. I'm so thankful that iRacing added that because, you know, I like birds.
I think we have enough time to slip a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show under the world of outlaws.
Welcome back to the RSR Network, the Red Line Racing League, Can-Am Cars at Talladega. I'm Kevin Czerzinski, your broadcaster, alongside Hillbilly Avery McDonald. It's been a caution fest a little bit so far. It looks like a couple cars have retired from the race. I think we'll be able to see some green flag racing here. Like I said, the lights on the pace car are off, which means we are one to go. So Avery, what do you think it's going to be to take to win this race?
Well, I think you need to stay out in front, and you need to be able to get a good run and get some green flag racing. Make sure you got a partner going into the final run, but that pace car is going to make a hard left-hand turn.
Getting ready to go green. Green flags in the air. Roger Buff, Anthony Pizzo, Paul Cohen, and Cardin Cochran, your top four.
A couple more drivers have been removed from the server. Hopefully we can clean it up a little bit. Side-by-side action. Buff out in front. Pizzo in second. Buff needs some help from Cardin. But right now, he's getting a little help from Pizzo.
Wow, I'm surprised he fit his car through there. Wasn't much room for error. Looked like the car behind him did check up and let him by, but that was a very generous move there.
I'm a little surprised by that move, Kevin. I mean, he can't get to the front in that position. He needs to be the one getting pushed. You see a 38 chopping down a little bit on the 11. But right now, it's a side-by-side battle to the line. Buff has got a bumper full of Pizzo, while Cohen has got a bumper full of Cardin.
Look at this, that 24 car of Matthew Almani. We saw he was involved in a wreck earlier in the race. Finds himself up in the top 5.
Yeah, Almani, he finished 24 laps down. 31 laps down in the main event last week. Got a couple cars going down to the apron. That's the number 38 of Kenneth Bohm. He's checking up, waiting to give room. The number 10, Max Kaler, gave him some room, but the number 101 up into the wall. That's Adam Roseman. A lot of macaroni and cheese going around here, Kevin.
Yeah, but it's not quite cooked yet.
No, it's still cooking.
The shells are a little bit hard. It's gonna need some more cooking. And hopefully, we do have a big wreck there. Oh, hard wreck.
Looks to be Ivan Garcia. That's the biggest thing here in the super speedway is you need to be locked up. And then if you're not locked up, that carnage is gonna happen.
You see on the replay here, see that Valvoline car gets turned by the 24 of Matthew Almani, and chaos ensues again. Looks like the 78 car of Steven Baird. He saves it, has a little bit of damage, but doesn't look like to be too serious. But looking back on it, his nose does have a little bit more, or maybe that's just the, I don't know, that's just the shade coming from the sun there. It looked like his nose there was caved in a little bit, but I stand corrected.
Big thing here at Talladega, Kevin, is when you are the lead car in the pack, is you need to make sure you hold a straight line. I'm not saying you didn't hold the line, but that kind of caused a little bit, as you saw, you kind of shaked it up a little bit. And we're past halfway. We need to get some more green flag racing here.
So we're going to go back up on the replay here. We're going to ride on board with that 24, Matthew Almani. See a little bump coming into the tri-oval. Right around the start-finish line, you're going to see the contact there. And I was just talking about that. So you can't push them on the right or left side of that car. They're going to go turning around. You got to get it right in the middle of that bumper. And, it seems like almost that's the wrecking that we've seen today thus far.
Yeah, you got to have patience here at Talladega to win. Hopefully you can see a little more patience as we just passed halfway when the accident happened. And, accidents happen, but, it's happened a lot so far tonight. We're hoping for some more green flag racing. But right now, Paul Cohen looks to be out in front of Roger Buff, last week's winner. Another guy to look for is P.J. O'Leary. He did the same thing, staying back and avoiding wreck. Cohen going to the pits. Buff also going to the pits. Same with Pizzo and number 25 at Cardin Coach.
There you see some drivers coming down pit road. Paul Cohen leading that way down. Roger Buff as well.
Back to the lead, Marty Ray, your pole sitter. So he's back out in front. And Adam Eisenhower up in second. So, we got some new guys up in the top 5. But, we got a little more time for more green flag racing.
And we will be right back with that green flag racing here on the RSR Network in the Red Line Racing League. Can-Am Cars at Talladega. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
He's typing. He's typing. He's got it. He's got it. It's a new line of code. I'll get my code. Sorry.
Welcome back to the RSR Network, the Redline Racing League, Can-Am cars at Talladega. The lights on the pace car are off, which means we have the signal for one to go. See a couple cars there with some damage.
Yeah, get some cars with damage, but right now grab some popcorn, get some green flag racing out. I mean, we're getting ready to go green. Ford FR 500 leading the pace, leading the field. That pace car is looking mighty fine, Kevin.
Yeah, it sure is, especially with the lights off. But Marty Ray, your current leader, and Adam Eisenhower finds himself in second place for this restart. See who's going to get the better jump here at the start of this restart. That pace car makes that hard left down to pit road. We'll ride on board with Marty Ray. See, he's not on the gas yet. But green flag's in the air. He is on it. We are racing here at Talladega.
Yeah, you got Ray on the inside, Eisenhower on the outside. Here comes Chris William, trying to give it a little help, but right now, we got a blinky blink. Chris William is in the inside of the 40. Someone needs to give him room. They need to get out of each other, otherwise they're going to make contact.
Looks like we have a pass for the lead here. Adam Eisenhower getting a great push from Brent Cool. And they are quite a few car lengths ahead of Marty Ray. And you see that 55 there at Dakota Sedilic. He has no help from behind him. Well, actually he does. That 101 of Adam Rosman.
Looks like they're going to try to make a run to the outside. Are they going to block? No, they're not going to block.
See, he's getting a great push from that 101 of Adam Rosman. See Dakota making his way up to the front, but no. That inside line, Adam Eisenhower getting a great push as well from Brent Cool. And you see the pole sitter, Marty Ray, in 5th place. That 101 looks to the inside, but nope. Marty Ray says, I'm coming through here.
Yep, no way. Here we go. Adam Eisenhower out in front. We have Kiel in second, and it's double file all the way back with Rayleigh in the inside. And there goes Adam Rosman to the inside of Dakota. Dakota's going to be leading the outside with Roger Buff with helping him. You see some cars that are backed up a little bit, including PJ O'Leary, Matthew Almani, Stephen Baird, and Chuck Barrett.
Yeah, it looks like there's nothing too much going on. There is some checking up. You see a car there get a little bit loose.
That was a number 11. Frederick Hofstetter.
See that 15 of Roger Buff trying to make his way up to the front. He's pushing that 55 car of Dakota Sedilic.
Yeah, they weren't quite clear. So we got 2 wide, the 3 rows deep, and to the inside is the number 39 of, man, I can't find him. Oh, Edward Finger, who's currently 2 laps down. He goes to the inside. Right now, it's pretty much, a little bit of battling, battling, Kevin.
Yeah, side by side 39, he's going to try to get his lap back the hard way, trying to get his car up to the front of these cars. but he seems content where he's at right now. No, he's making a jump on the outside and then looks back to the inside.
27 of, looks to be Anthony Pizzo, almost got up into the 18 of Mark Johnson. Not quite sure what happened there, but Johnson falling behind to 99. Looking high to the 88 of Waylon McConnell.
Yeah, Adam Eisenhower still in the lead. But Dakota Sedilic getting a push from Roger Buff. They're not giving up on that outside line. But Brent Kuhl's doing a great job of pushing Adam Eisenhower, maintaining that lead for him.
All right, Kevin, we noticed this last week at Daytona, the side draft. Trying to take the air off to go a little bit faster. Right now, that is what Dakota's doing. And he's got a handful of Buff on his rear end, and Eisenhower's got a handful of Kuhl on the inside. Double file quite a ways back. The 18 of Mark Johnson slips to the inside to pass Adam Roseman.
Yeah, I don't know if these drivers are going to have to pit once more. It might be a splash and go, might not. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. The leaders are wasting a little bit more fuel than the drivers behind them because they're checking up, so they're not using as much gas as the leaders. Only time will tell.
Come out for Mark Canny and Brian Kaufman made a little bit of contact, but they were able to pick things back up and get back going. So right now, I mean, Eisenhower's on the inside, Dakota is on the outside. And you see the side draft, Kevin. We talked about it last week. It is so important to side draft with lap 37 of 50.
The 4-car looks like it got a little uneasy there, and once again going into the tri-oval. But yeah, you're right, Avery. That side draft, it's you really want to get really down into there and onto their side. No contact. You don't want to hit them because you do run the risk of that net code I was talking about earlier in the broadcast. But you need every inch so you can get the speed that you need to pass with these cars.
Starting to get exciting. These cars are so close together on this wide track. The 18 pushes a little bit high. He was trying to help out the lap car of Edward Finger. Finger trying to catch up to the front to go only one lap down.
I'm surprised Roger Buff isn't giving that 55 of Dakota Sedilic a great push here. It might be getting a little hot here as you see cars forming up behind them, which would be a good thing if they can get lined up, possibly making a pass on these leaders. And oh, we have a big wreck. The 101 of Adam Rosman goes around, and we have a caution.
And once again, how important it is to hold your line to be able to maintain the draft, and you got to hit each other, right on, Kevin.
Now looking back on the replay here, you see that Green Peak Chevy Impala gets turned by, looks like the 88, or no, I'm sorry, the 99 of Matthew Correa. And once again, I was talking about that earlier in the broadcast, once again, about the contact of these bumpers. They don't line up right, causing drivers to take other drivers out.
I mean, just unfortunate. We had a great green flag run, and then the incident just happened with Carrera and Rosman. Nobody really at fault there, just an incident happened, and we'll see if Rosman's going to take that car behind the garage.
I'm pretty sure some of these drivers are running out of those lucky fast repairs to get a brand new car for the race, and once you use all those up, you're actually going to have time to repair the car. Sometimes it's required, and sometimes it's optional damage. But this being a super speedway track, aerodynamics is crucial. So if you have any damage whatsoever, it is going to impair your car. But there are times where if you do have damage, drivers have come away with a victory with a damaged car.
Yeah, definitely, Kevin. Kyle Busch has done it. You know, we can only see it here tonight with the Redline Racing League here on the RSR Network. You know, these are the K&N cars, Talladega. You know, had a good race last week. We're shaping up to have a good finish. But got a couple more laps of pacing, then we're going to go hopefully green flag to the end.
You see the fifth place car, he's in fifth now by Adam Eisenhower leading down the field for pit road. 4 cars in front of him elect to stay out, so he's not losing much position here. Probably a good call. Don't know if these drivers in front of them do have enough fuel to get to the end of this race. I'm assuming they do at this point. You would think they would come down pit road to get that fuel with being, you know, so close to the end here.
Oh, definitely. If you didn't have enough fuel, you were coming down pit road. Not really, you know, unless you had damage, I probably would have stayed out. I mean, with just a couple laps to go after the restart.
See if we can go through your field real quick. We'll get up your top 5 there. See Brent Cool in that top position. And in second, Roger Buff, my pick of the race to win this race. And right behind him in third, we got Anthony Pizzo. And in fourth, we got Paul Cohn. And right behind him, rounding out your top 5, that 86, Adam Eisenhower.
Eisenhower kind of got his way up to the front. He started in the 5th position, in also the 5th position. Right now, our biggest mover in the top 10 would be Anthony Pizzo going from 20th. Well, excuse me, actually, no, Mark Johnson 32 to 6th, and Frederick Hofstetter 36 to 7. But yeah, we got a lot of movers, but a lot of guys that had a lot of patience that were able, Kevin, to work their way to the front, avoiding some of the carnage.
Yeah, it takes a lot of skill to maneuver when there's, you know, a car piling up in front of you. If a car runs up the track or comes down the track, you know, you got to really make a split decision call to get your car out of the wreckage. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, definitely, Kevin. I mean, sometimes it's good to keep your foot in it. Sometimes it's not good to keep your foot in it, just kind of, you know, circumstances. But, you know, we're shaping up to have hopefully a good restart, hopefully green flag to the end. You know, it's kind of what everybody hopes, to get a green flag finish.
You know, I'm looking on the 27 car here. Something very interesting. His paint scheme. He's running a Subaru Legacy. That is definitely a first for NASCAR.
Yeah, these K&N cars in real life, they run on mainly short tracks. But tonight, and they are at the Talladega Super Speedway for Redline Racing League. You know, just a little bit bigger track than Daytona. They make sure you know it. It's just a little bit bigger.
You know, one thing about these cars too, they're almost the equivalent to the ARCA cars that the ARCA series has, but these car bodies, they're going to be obsolete, even though that they are obsolete now. But series won't be driving them anymore. The K&N has their new body template. An ARCA car, I believe next year they will be going to a new template. So these cars are going to be obsolete. It's going to be interesting to see what iRacing does to update the K&N car if they do get one of the new ones. Hopefully it'll be available here on iRacing.
Yeah, it looks like those pace car lights have gone off. 1 lap till we go green flag racing to start the 44th lap at the Talladega Super Speedway. Right now you see Roger Buff out in front, Pizzo in second, Cohen in third, Eisenhower fourth. These guys are going to need a little bit of help to get to the front from the guys right behind them, Kevin. But right now, Buff and Pizzo are in the driver's seat. But if we take the history from last week's race, anything can happen.
Yeah, you're right about that. And especially with, you know, a handful of laps to go, we're going to be 7 to go when the green flag is dropped. So it's going to be go time for these drivers. Hopefully, Everyone keeps it straight, and we saw what happened last week. Roger Buff, they weren't happy with himself gaining that win, but also taking out a fellow competitor. He felt really bad. Who knows, maybe he'll make a statement here, be like, hey, I know that was an accident. Get the win here clean, and we'll go on to next week.
Yep, hopefully the final restart tonight at Talladega. Pace car looking nice. We've seen it a little bit too much, but you know what? It's getting ready to go down into pit road. You know, we got Kevin Trzynski and myself, the Hillbilly, Avery McDonald. We're getting ready for the good finish here at Talladega Super Speedway.
See that pace car making that hard left onto the grass. These drivers getting ready to go green.
Look at that gap, Kevin, between Coheen and Buff.
Yeah, it looks like they were laying back a little bit. Green flags in the air. Roger Buff gets a great start, but the car behind him, that 51 and Paul Cohn. Oh, we have a massive wreck behind.
Yeah, looks like we had contact made with the 65. And then the 40 of Brian Kaufman got involved. Eisenhower also got involved. 99, 88. Well, pretty much anybody that was, about 7th on back was involved. I want you to take a look at who was not involved. Great driving, Kevin, by the number 3 up, PJ O'Leary, driving that Chevrolet. Very lucky, but the caution is out. We should be able to get a restart.
You know, I'm not exactly sure what happened there. One car got loose and went around, and, you know, just looked like there was a landmine that went off, and people just started turning left and right, and, man, it's really hard to make out exactly what happened there.
Yeah, definitely going to the green flag. You know, a couple drivers were not, I wouldn't say lined up correctly, but they were kind of having some gaps. To be honest with you, I'm not quite sure what all entailed that, but, you know, we're going to get another restart. You know, it's been, been a long race though, Kevin, but we should be able to get a restart.
Yeah, it looked like your pole sitter got tapped from behind. And exactly, it's been the point of most of the cautions thus far, getting contact offset from the center of the bumper, causing Marty Ray to turn around, and there was chaos that ensued once again behind them.
Well, we should be able to get a restart, Kevin. Not sure if it's going to be 2 or a 1-lap shootout, but Roger Buff, your pick's out in front right now, and, my pick, PJ O'Leary, up into the 8th position. I don't know how he avoided that contact, but he did a great job. Adam Eisenhower in 3rd. He's going to try to help Buff. All right, Kevin, last week with that 1-lap shootout, it was carnage right away. And it really didn't matter where you were as long as you were able to avoid that carnage. We're hoping for something different today. If you're in the driver's seat, where do you want to be?
Well, I want to be in the front. You're going to have to pass me. So I'm going to try to make every attempt to not block, but, just defend my lead. It's going to be very interesting to see how people do race here. This is going to be our last green flag restart. If we do get another one, the race will end under caution. And see, at this point now, I'm just thinking I want to be up in the front. I don't want to be anywhere else.
Yeah, for sure you want to be up in the front. Before we get to this restart in a couple laps, we'd like to thank all of you on YouTube watching this race. I've seen our viewers. We haven't got lower than 13, so that's great. We do this for fun. Kevin and I have a great time doing these broadcasts, and I know I don't get a chance to do it as much as I would like, but You know, it's been a lot of caution this race, Kevin, but I've had a good time so far. Working with you, Bubba, it's been a good time.
Well, thank you, Avery. It's been very nice working with you as well. I can't believe I'm saying that. I should be beating my head with the microphone, but you're a pretty good guy, Avery.
Oh, thanks, man. I'm just a South Dakota kid that only closest track is a dirt track.
So hoping we get the signal to 1 to go here. Keeping my fingers crossed. Nope, not yet. And on that fact, we'll be right back with the finish of this race after this short break.
I actually, really enjoy dirt racing. Feels good to get in the car, and we have, great cars and engines and things at KKR, so it's nice to drive a fast sprint car.
Couple of separate lines developing. 3 wide action on a turn 2. Craig Kinzer, Casey Kane, and Garrett Pittman going at it.
I think the differences between, NASCAR and the sprint races on dirt is just a much different mindset. The way you drive your cars, the setup, the feel you're looking for. I think one of the hardest things to tell as a fan is when you're watching a race, whether it's a NASCAR race, a dirt race, is just what's really going on in the car. With iRacing, you can get the way that the track's changing, which they've done a great job in how the track changes throughout the night or throughout the race, just to try to capture it and let the fans play it and realize, like, man, there's actually a lot going on, and you can't always see that when you watch a race. So I think it's pretty neat. It's, enjoyable for me, but at the end of the day, it's actually much of a simulation, and there's a lot of ways that you can learn from that. And, early on, it was neat to look at the Cup tracks that I was going to, places that I had never been. So I think it kind of gives you a head start leading into a weekend. It's pretty real life, and that's pretty neat.
Welcome back to the RSR Network. Redline Racing League, K&N cars at Talladega. The lights on the pace car are off. We will have a green-white checkered to finish out this race. Roger Buff in the lead. He's my pick to win this race, and Anthony Pizzo on his outside in second place. Adam Eisenhower in third. He's been up in the front lately. And in fourth, Paul Cohen. He's going to be starting on that outside, and rounding out your top 5, Dakota Sedilic. He's been a familiar face up in the front throughout this race.
Yeah, Kevin, first off, we'd like to thank the Robster Robbie for helping us out, getting us some good audio for tonight's race. So thanks Robster. It's been we really enjoy you helping us out, Bubba. But Kevin, you picked Roger Buff, I picked O'Leary, but there are 16 cars on lead lap, and at Talladega, if you're on the lead lap, you got a chance to win.
Oh, you sure do. Any of these cars on the lead lap do have a chance to win here. It's anybody's race, but right now, your leader, Roger Buff, looking to start this race back up again. That pace car drives right through him, makes that hard left. Roger Buff, he's going to be on the pedal here shortly. Green flag's in the air, and he is off.
Yeah, he's trying to get help from Eisenhower on the inside. Cohen going to try to help out Pizzo. O'Leary trying to help out also on the outside. Side-by-side action into one.
You see Anthony Pizzo gets a little high, messes up from the car behind him. They lose a lot of momentum. Roger Buff getting that great push from Adam Eisenhower, and right behind him, that 18, of Mark Johnson. Oh no, we have some wrecking going on. We're going to stay focused on the leaders here as the green flag is still out. No caution.
Looks like a 27 and Hofstetter got together. Still there.
See Roger Buff still in that lead coming out of turn 4. The flag man grabs the white flag. And it is up in the air. 1 lap to go here at Talladega.
Buff gonna try to make that car as wide as possible. Johnson looked to go high. And there goes Eisenhower to the outside. He's all by himself, the 18 of Johnson to the inside. Gonna give a handful of Buff in the bumper. Nobody trying to make moves on the outside. Eisenhower wanted the help from Johnson as they go into turn number 4. Kevin's gonna call it to the finish.
They're going 3 wide here into turn 3 here. You see Roger Buff still in that lead. Mark Johnson giving him a great push. Oh, we have a car going around. That's Mark Johnson, and chaos ensues. Roger Buff coming across the tri-oval here. Contact a little bit made there. Roger Buff takes the inside here, and he will win. No! It's going to be the 80 car of Mark Carney.
Yeah, I saw Mark Carney coming. He had a lot of help from the 55 of Dakota Sedelic. But right now, congratulations, Mark Carney, for getting the win. And then look at Buff and Dakota, how close that finish was, Kevin.
Yeah, we'll go back on the replay there. That was very exciting right down to the end. I thought Roger Buff had it. You see that contact made there. Dakota wanted that, but Mark Carney, he comes away with the victory here at Talladega.
Yeah, definitely, it was a struggle race for the cautions, but, Kevin, we end up having a great finish with Mark Carney getting that win, Bubba.
See, we'll go through your results here. Finishing in first, Mark Carney. In second place, Roger Buff was my pick to win. He was close, but did not get it. In third, we got Dakota Sedelic. And in fourth, Chuck Barrett. And rounding out your top 5, Jason Eisenhower.
Yeah, Brett Cool going to 6th, Frederick Hofstetter 7th, 8th, Stephen Baird, 9th, Paul Coyne, 10th, Carden Cochran. Adam Eisenhower was up on the front. He is your first car a lap down. Mark Johnson involved in the accident, 12th. PJ O'Leary also involved, 13th. Waylon McConnell, 14th. Matthew Almighty, 15th. Edward Finger, 16th. Matthew Carrera, 17th. And it goes Anthony Pizzo, Marty Ray, your pole sitter, Brian Kaufman, Chris Wilhelm, Adam Rosman, Ivan Garcia, Kenneth Bohin, Thomas Labar, Max Kaler, Jamie Martin, Gabriel Zarnicki, Brent Nichols, Paul Sheldon, Philip Lauer, Bruno, Stephen Pierce, Jeffrey Schloss, Stephen Besner, Jay Cohn, Dylan Feldman, James Peterson rounds out the field.
See, we're going to try to get some drivers' interviews for the Redline Racing League Can-Am cars at Talladega. We'll be right back with those drivers' interviews. Hopefully, keep your fingers crossed, everybody. Welcome back to the RSR Network. We do have one driver set for an interview here, the only one we could get a handle on, Roger Buff. My pick to win this race. Looks like he almost had it, but I don't know, man. I think a little karma caught up to you there.
That's probably exactly what it was. I couldn't even be mad, man. The same thing, happened last week. Somebody was all trying to get the win, and it come back and bite me right on the rump there, bud. I put a couple good blocks on them boys, man, in backstretch, and hit Adam, got Adam pretty good. He tried to come out. I slowed down his momentum, and then through the backstretch, I think another driver tried to get around me. I put what was his name, Mark Johnson. Yep. I put a block on him too, stole that momentum, and he got spun out coming out of turn 4, and it went on down from there.
Now, it looked like a lot of these cars, most of the wrecks that we saw today or tonight was due to hitting the back of the car on the right or left side, and it seemed like the car went around. I don't know. I don't recall you being involved in any wrecks, but can you talk about how the pushing was in the race?
Well, they had a new build here lately, and then used to be you could punt them, man, and they'll just pop forward and no problem. But I was trying to be careful all day today out there racing, and I still have both of my quick repairs all the way up to the end. So I guess that's why I'd rather be in the front. Unless I'm causing a caution, I usually don't get wrecked out because we all try to respect each other in the front. But the bumping, it variates. It's all right, bud. Go ahead, bud.
No, you can finish what you were going to say.
Yes, sir. The bumping, you just know it's iffy. You can get away with a little bit, but sometimes you can't do anything with it. So, but I was being careful out there the whole time. So, I'll take a second, and I probably would have had that if I ain't got turned around right there. But daggone, like you said, it came back and bit me.
Actually, on the play-by-play there, I was actually calling you the winner, and that start-finish line is off away from the tri-oval as we're used to at Daytona. I did call you as the race winner at first, but then you did go around there. You come away in second place, so it's not bad. Second, obviously you want to win, but second place, it's not a bad day for you. Before we send you off tonight, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank the good Lord above for his mercy and his kindness towards us, giving us opportunities and the pleasure of doing these things right here. Being able to get in contact with people all over the world, and Jason Eisenhower and the Eisenhower brothers, Adam, for pulling this thing together, and y'all two in the booth, man. RSR commentation here, man. It's y'all do a real good job up there, man. I really appreciate the effort y'all put into this.
Don't make me blush.
I appreciate the comments there, Roger. Well, congratulations on your second place finish. We'll see you next week.
All right, Lord willing, bud. Lord willing. I'll holler at y'all.
And like I said, we will see you next week here on the RSR Network. I'm Kevin Trzynski, and alongside with me is Aver McDonald. We had a great race last week, great race this week. It's going to be more of the same. I believe we are going to Michigan, but I'm not correct. If I'm not correct on that one, I'm sorry, Jason, the owner of Redline Racing. But we'll see you next week here on the RSR Network. Same time, same place. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Introducing a whole new form of racing to the best online racing simulation in the world. This is Dirt Racing on iRacing.com. Race online at some of America's most legendary dirt tracks, including Eldora and Williams Grove. iRacing is the premier online racing game featuring NASCAR, IndyCar, sports cars, and now World of Outlaws, the leading sanctioning body for dirt racing. iRacing is easy to use and features a centralized ranking system to make sure you have the best experience at any skill level. With a massive inventory of high-precision laser scan tracks and cars with an unmatched dedication to quality and detail, iRacing gives you the most authentic online racing experience available. Thanks to iRacing's dynamic track system, developed specifically for dirt racing, tracks change over the course of a race, just like your favorite dirt track on a Friday or Saturday night. From a slick racing groove all the way up to the cushion, iRacing's dirt tracks deliver non-stop racing action. Partnered with the World of Outlaws, iRacing is your source for the most authentic dirt racing experience available, featuring 4 brand new tracks and 11 new cars, including street stocks, Legends cars, late models, NASCAR trucks, winged and non-winged sprint cars, with much more on the way. Join the Dirt Revolution on iRacing.com and start slinging mud today.